Welcome to Never Show the Monster. I'm Kelly Attaway.
I'm Chelsea Hollander.
And today we are going to talk about the new movie, Pray for the Devil. And this is still part of our Shootin the Shit series about new movies. And I think I have a hunch. I've got a feeling that this one might be a little more shit shooting than the other ones have been.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of shit shooting in this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit to shoot.
I wonder if this time that we're saying it might go off the rails, we just stay completely on the rails and focus specifically on the movie. No comedy, nothing else. What if we get
straight
up discussion of every
as we start getting into it, we uncover all these themes, and we're really motivated, and maybe it inspires us to do new things. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, that's definitely what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm. Here's how we're going to start. Before we hit record, I was telling Chelsea about how yesterday I listened to an interview with the CEO of Shudder. What was his name? Craig Engler. And this interview was on Last Podcast on the Left, their Patreon feed. So if you're a patron, that episode is out.
But do they have a fun series name for it?
Yeah, it's called Side Stories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or maybe, is that right? I don't know. I was also telling Chelsea that I don't often listen to their interview series. Their side stories come out on the main feed as well, but not the interviews. But I think that the interviews are still whatever. None of this matters. I was listening to an interview they did with the CEO of Shudder, and he told a story about Host, which y'all remember. Chelsea and I loved this movie. It's so good. If you haven't watched it yet, please do. Obviously, it's on Shudder. And it's so tight. How long is it? 50 minutes, maybe? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because it's the length of a Zoom call. It is a movie that came out near the top of the pandemic. And so it's about a group of friends who are doing a seance on Zoom. They can't do it in real life, right? Because they are in a pandemic. And spooky Zoom seance ensues. It's so fun.
So good.
It's so good. And so the CEO, I think we covered some of this on our episode. But I'll just tell it like we didn't. So he was telling the story about how this movie got made. So, first of all, the CEO sounds rad. He was talking about how so the interviewers were asking him how he chooses which movies to buy or fund, whatever, to put on Shudder. And he was like, first of all, thank you for loving the service. Second of all, it's not just me. There's a whole group of people who are scouting these things and making these decisions. And I liked that. I liked hearing about a CEO who doesn't
take credit for other people's work.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was nice and refreshing. And he was talking about how he and two other people specifically, it sounded like, I don't know who they are. This is some homework for me, I guess. They have a shared Slack channel where they're all on Twitter looking for spooky, scary things. So buzz around a new indie horror movie, or in this case, buzz around the director's name was Rob Savage. Is that right?
Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
The director of Host put a little prank video up on YouTube, and I'll describe that in a minute. But this CEO of Shudder saw it, put it in the Slack channel, and was like, "Look at this. This is crazy. This is a great little prank video, very spooky, scary." And the other people in the Slack channel were like, "Oh, yeah, we know him. He's a director." And so the CEO was like, "Okay, well, reach out and see if he has a feature-length movie about this little Twitter video." And that's how the conversation got started. And that little video, I know that you told us about it in our episode on Host.
Yeah.
I don't think that I've actually seen it yet.
And it's
do you want to take it?
Yeah, and I was going to say, and another cool part of it, you might mention this, is they start talking to him about it. But he also, right after that, got a bunch of offers. But the reason that they ended up choosing Shudder was because of giving them full leeway to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
He was like, what if it's a really short movie? Is that okay?
Yeah.
And all the other studios are like, feature-length film, please. We need it to be 2 hours. We need it to be an hour and a half. I got to get that money.
No,
But,
dude.
I mean, 50 minutes, I would have paid so much money to watch this movie over and over again for the rest of my life. I think I purchased... No. I have Shudder.
I have Shudder.
Yeah, I have Shudder.
But if it ever leaves Shudder for whatever reason, I'ma buy it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so good. Yeah. Oh, no, you were going to describe what happens in this little prank video.
Oh, yeah, in the prank video. So what happens is it is the director, and it's the actors in the movie, aside from one guy that is not in the movie, I think, and they're like playing around with filters and stuff, and it's like they're having their regular game night, or, you know, mid-pandemic, whenever you guys are getting on your Zoom calls to try to do, I used to do a trivia night with a couple people. You just have like a small thing for get-togethers,
just
you know,
Zoom
to
happy
not
hours,
feel like
hanging out with your friends on the internet.
Yeah, exactly. And he hears a noise, and then he goes to investigate it, and it is almost shot for shot the scene where who's the one who ends up going up into the attic?
It's the gal with the selfie stick.
Yeah, she ends up going up, and is it Emma? There's Emma and Gemma.
There's Emma and Gemma. I think it's Emma. Yeah.
Or is Emma the blonde one? I don't know. One of them goes up, and she goes to check in the attic, and she sees like hanging feet. He goes and he takes his computer, and he puts his computer up there, and there's like I think that there's like a child that grabs at the computer, like a child that's like blue, and like it's just a very scary
Grudgy
visual. And like grabs at the camera very quickly, and then you just see him fall, or you just see the laptop falls, and like you hear him fall, and then they're like, "Is he okay? Are you okay?" And they're like, "You're just fucking with us." And then like it's just them like talking about it for a while. Most of the people on the call are like, this guy. But one or two are a little like creeped out. But a lot of the people on that call are the same people that acted in the actual movie, which is awesome.
I love that. Yeah, so it was just like a little 2-minute video on YouTube. I guess it went viral-ish. That's my understanding. I am so surprised I didn't see it.
Yeah,
but,
same.
Yeah, so CEO Shudder saw this, shared it with his partners, and they were like, we know him, let's talk to him. And he was saying that it was 3 months between when they said, okay, we're doing this, and when the movie was streaming on Shudder. Like, that is such a fast turnaround.
Yeah.
And he was also saying that, like, Savage and his team of creatives, like, didn't actually apply any of the notes from the studio. Like Shudder, the studio, had like some feedback on like early rough cuts, and they just didn't do them.
Yeah.
And the CEO was like, first of all, we didn't have very many notes. Like he
I don't know how you could improve it.
No, he even had like part of his story was that when they watched one of the rough cuts, he like asked his partners like, is this movie as good as I think it is? Or am I just like really pandemic focused right now? And they were like, no, it's good. So like, I guess they had a few notes. He doesn't even think that they applied them. And I love that, right? Like that could have been like a political disaster. Your creators aren't applying your notes. You could be like, okay, well, we're not funding your movie then. And instead they were like, okay, no, you made the right call.
It's fine. It's a great movie. We still love it so much.
We still love it. And then he said that the movie was streaming before they had the trailer. Like they did it so fast. And the group of people who produced it, like it was just Savage and his buds who did it. Like they didn't like hire a bunch of new people or whatever. Like it was just this.
And it was in a pandemic, so they all did stuff separately. Like
remotely.
They all shot their own stuff separately.
Yeah. So they just like knocked it out and then were putting it together. And they were so like, they had this deadline to get the movie out. And so they were so focused on the movie that they had to wait until that was released to like make the trailer. And I think that's so funny.
I don't know if I ever even saw the trailer.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember when I watched it, I didn't think it was going to be anything.
Oh, yeah. No,
I thought it was going to be Unfriended. I thought we were going to watch an Unfriended, and I was excited when I watched it. It's the same thing, like, going into Smile, I thought it might be a little bit campy or a little funny, a little fun. And then that's not what happened at all. And that happened with Host, but in the best possible way.
I didn't know anything about
I didn't expect to be
Host.
scared.
No, me either.
And Host did a good job at making me terrified.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. And it's got like some interesting scares to it that and like a really creative use of the like Zoom filter medium.
Oh yeah. Oh, so I could not say enough good things about this movie. So let's talk about a movie that I have no good things to say about.
Wait, hold on. Can we talk about another movie real quick?
Oh yeah. We can.
I've got some hereditary stuff.
Okay.
Stuff.
Well, no spoilers.
Oh, I would never.
Yeah, what are you going to say about Hereditary?
I was reading, so I started reading about this because the CEO of Shudder in this interview was talking about how interesting the soundtrack to Hereditary is.
Oh.
Like the music is iconic now. I know that you haven't seen it, but you're on
I mean, I know the
TikTok,
sounds.
so you know the like Hail Payman song.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, sorry. That could be Inception too, huh? It's a big blah sound. But with like choral, whatever. So apparently that composer like wanted to make that music really unsettling. And so a lot of it is not the instruments that you think it is. And so maybe you don't like clock it consciously, but it's like off-putting. It's like subtly off-putting.
Oh.
And so I went and read about it. And I read an interview with this composer, Colin something.
Mockery? No, just kidding. Yeah, sorry, that's a good whose line.
No, it's him. It was him. No, I forget.
Man of all talent.
Colin something. And I guess he's been working with like Arcade Fire and Bon Iver for years.
Oh, wow.
And hasn't done scores for like a ton of movies. I think he said 8 or 9 at the time of this interview, which was like just before Hereditary came out, which was what, 2018 or so. But he was talking about his process there. And the score is like essentially him alone. Like he played the instruments and he did the vocals. And you may be thinking, vocals? I don't really think of this as like a super vocal heavy. No, it sounds great. He like the soundtrack is incredible. But he did the vocals
noise or like
he's like mimicking instruments. He was like, you may think that you're hearing strings. No, that's my voice. So I thought that was super fascinating. And so I started like, and then he was talking about working with Ari Aster, who's the director of Hereditary. And that was his debut movie, right?
Oh.
Like he had made some shorts before and then he comes out with bang, the big bang.
Yeah.
The big Ari Aster bang of Hereditary. And this composer was like, it was so nice to work with him because he was like, he had like musical vocabulary. And so they could like communicate in the same language instead of like trying to, I don't know, like if I made a movie and then I'm trying to describe like what I want the soundtrack to be like, I'm going to struggle with that because I don't know the words. And so I guess Aster had more of the language around that. But he also was like a huge fan of this composer's work leading up to that. Like it sounds like he had used some of this composer's earlier recordings as like a muse when he was writing the movie. And so even early on in the screenplay, he reached out to this composer and was like, would you be interested in this if I am able to get this movie made? And the composer was like, keep me in the loop. And so it worked out. And the direction that the composer was given was like 2 things. 1, it needs to sound evil, which it does. Like mission accomplished on that one. Second goal was the music needs to be like a character in the movie.
Oh.
Like I'm going to use sort of a corny example to illustrate what I think he was describing. So I guess in a lot of movies, and like think about in Hamilton, the characters each have like a motif that plays when they, and Peggy, you know, like, Eliza, you know, like you've got the like themes for the characters.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's not what Ari Aster wanted. He was like, I don't want the music to be like representative of the characters.
Okay.
The score needs to be like a separate character that has a relationship with each of the characters.
Interesting.
And so isn't that fascinating? And so now I need to rewatch the movie and like listen to the soundtrack really closely. Because I remember being really impressed with the soundtrack. I remember like leaving the theater and I was going to say texting someone, probably texting you about how dope the music was. What'd you just find?
He did the menu.
He did the menu. Yes. Yeah. So I was on his Wikipedia today. He did a handful of movies that I was really excited about and saw that he did the menu. So no spoilers, but I think we're going to be talking about that one soon. So I'm so excited to have like read this article. I'll find it. I'll link it in the show notes and send it to you as well because it was really interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad to have learned this before going to see the menu so I can like have my listening ears on.
Ooh, I'm so excited. I mean, I was already excited for the menu, but now I'm like extra excited.
Yeah. So I just thought that was really fascinating.
Yeah.
And like, man, I don't know.
That's so
cool.
interesting.
Oh, the other one was
Color Me Out of Space.
Yeah.
Something. We're also going to do that one eventually.
Yeah, we've got a Nick Cage series of brewing. So something to look forward to.
It's always at the top of our minds. It's always the next one we want to do.
Yeah, well, we've got a lot. We've got a long list.
Yeah, we do.
And listeners, if there's something that you want us to cover, if there's a movie that you want us to cover, please write in. You can, well, until Twitter dissolves, you can tweet at us at No Show Monster. You can email us, noshowmonster@gmail.com. We technically have an Instagram.
Yeah, sorry. My bad. Eventually, we'll have an active Instagram.
We also have a Tumblr.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so find us. Find us where you find us.
Do we
and
get
let us know what
Mastodon?
movies. I'm intimidated by Mastodon. It's got so many servers.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
My understanding is that you can follow people from other servers and you can move servers if you decide the one you're on isn't a good fit. But what do they call them? Like toots? You do a toot instead of a tweet?
Wow. No, I had no idea. That's kind of cute, though. I like it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I can...
Toot.
I mean, I guess looking back,
if you're a tutor.
Like I remember back when Twitter was invented and we were like, you tweet, you do tweets. That's insane. So like, I don't know, maybe in 10 years we'll be like,
you do toots?
I read a toot earlier and it won't feel weird. So
maybe another one will rise amongst the ranks. I don't know. But I do like the idea that it's open source.
Oh, I didn't know it was open source. Like I could go contribute a feature if I wanted to.
Yeah, if you feel it.
I don't, but cool. Should we talk about this movie?
Should we? I don't know. We're only an hour in. Yeah, we
Pray
can.
for the devil. I did zero research on this one. I don't know.
There
who made
isn't much.
It.
I did do research. And this is something I was actually shocked by. The director of it is actually a director that I am a big fan of one of his movies. So I was kind of shocked to find out it was the same director.
What's the movie? Do you remember? She's looking.
Yeah, The Last Exorcism. Oh. The name of the director is Daniel Stamm.
Wait, The Last Exorcism, that's the one about the like Southern scam. I just watched that for the first time not too long ago. No. That one's really good.
I really like that one a lot. Yeah, same director.
I like that one a lot. Mm-hmm. Okay. Here's what I think happened with this movie.
It was probably... It had a lot of potential. There were pieces of it that made sense that could have made a really good movie. But put together as a whole.
Okay, let's dig into that. Here's what I think right now.
Okay.
Is that I think that this movie is similar to Hunky Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
Mute Gal.
I know which one you're talking about. Unholy?
Unholy. I think this movie is similar to The Unholy.
I agree.
In that at its core, it's a good movie. And I'm going to
That's not true. That's the part that I am confused.
No, let me finish explaining. I think that both of these movies have good bones. and that the CGI ruined it.
Okay. I will wholeheartedly agree with that. It had the makings of a really good movie, and it could have been if things were done a little bit differently.
Yeah. So I was really digging this movie, Pray for the Devil, until...
Yeah, okay, good, because that's what I was going to say. So our quick 10-minute review is, if you feel like watching it, okay. Don't tell you have to... Oh, okay, do it.
I say do it. I mean, yeah, if you feel like going to the movies to watch a scary movie...
Yeah, this might be a good one. Yeah, if you're not looking to get no, go see Barbarian.
That's no longer in theaters.
Okay, if it's not in theaters and if you don't want to be really sad, go see this one.
I just mean don't prioritize this one. If there are other scary movies, go see them first. But don't not go to this. If it's Sunday afternoon and you're like, I could watch a possession movie, then sure, go check it out.
And that's how I treated it.
I don't know. Sneak in your little buddies, which is what I call tiny Boda boxes. I call them my little buddies, and I sneak them into the movies.
Just assumed you were in a trench coat and you had friends under you.
I mean, yeah, no, that's it. That's right. my friends are the
buddies.
Tiny boxes of wine.
Gotcha.
No, I put them. Here's what I do: is I don't carry a purse. I have teeny tiny wallet, and everything I own has pockets. Mm-hmm. Unless I need to sneak my little buddies into the movie theater, which I need to do locally because they don't sell wine. They only sell beer. So I've got to sneak in my little buddies. So I bust out my purse for that, which has a couple sneaky compartments that fit tiny boxes of wine. So I put them in the sneaky compartments, and then I put a hefty book on top. So if
they're like, can I see inside your purse?
So if they look in my purse, they're like, oh, she's just going to read before we turn the lights off.
Yeah,
she's a square. Let her in. Don't look too close. Nah, I'm getting drunk in the back row.
Do you at least you take out your buddies? You put your buddies in the trash after you've completed your watching?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
And I
as somebody who worked at a movie theater when Magic Mike was out.
Oh God.
I
bet
as long as you clean up after yourself, love it. If you don't, the amount of wine, an entire wine bottles, not even tiny wines, just wine bottles that I would pick up in that movie. Whew.
I mean, I'm not going to hold that against. I hold against
just put
them
it in
the
the
littering.
Trash. Yeah, that's the part.
I
do not care. Just put it in the trash afterwards.
Yeah. No, I bring my little guys, and then I get a small popcorn. So then I put my empties in the popcorn bag along with my used napkins.
Thank you.
And then I put that all in the trash. And if the liquor store that I stopped at doesn't have the cartons, I get cans and I take those home with me so that they can be recycled.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. That's above and beyond.
Conscientious. I'm conscientious.
Oh. So proud to call you a friend.
Oh God. I even feel bad if I drop popcorn.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. It happens. I am also it's sweet that you get a small popcorn. I always get a large, and I eat it all, and it is everywhere every time.
Well, I get the small because I know that I'll upset my stomach if I try to eat more. But if I'm doing a double feature, then I go for the refillable guy.
That's smart.
Yeah. So I'll take a break, walk around between movies, get that refill. Yeah, yeah. I've got strategies. And
Very
I know
smart.
that's why our listeners are tuning in. They're looking for tips and tricks.
Anyway, this movie, this has gone off the rails. You're right. We did that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited because the director was great, and I agree with you. It had good bones. Like, there were just so many parts of it that I was like, this part, good.
Yeah.
This part, good.
Yeah.
This idea, good.
Yeah.
This part, bad?
Okay,
why? Oh, what was this? When did it lose you? What was the part where it lost you? There was a specific part that I started to get lost.
It was when they go down to the like nether holding cells underneath the academy, and the little girl is possessed, and her face moves bad and bad.
Yeah, so this is exactly to your point, an instance of never show the monster, and they don't do well. There are parts where they make the little girl's face look like it's from The Exorcist, which was done very well when it was practical effects.
Yep. Mm-hmm. No, that was the whole problem, was the CGI.
Okay, it's not the only problem, but we'll get into the other problem. I don't know if we'll agree on this, but there is another problem.
I'm so excited to hear about the other problem. Because I'm like, was I so blinded by the CGI that I didn't see the other problem? Yeah. Or do I disagree? I'm so excited.
I am
okay,
too.
So I want to finish this thought about The Exorcist, and then I want to give like a brief overview of the movie, and then let's dive into what else you thought was wrong.
Movie. That's probably smart.
Yeah. So there's the part where this is like toward the end of the movie where we're down in the like old witch hunting section or whatever, and I don't think that was it witches. Or was it just possessions?
Possessions. No, they drowned some witches at some point.
They drowned some witches. Yeah. Okay. So we're down there, and the little girl is down there, and she's possessed, and she like comes around the corner, and it's like homage to The Exorcist, like all the way, like dialed up to 11, homage to Exorcist, and it looks great for like 0.25 seconds. And then she starts talking, and you're like, no.
Yeah.
Oh no, this looks comically bad.
That's the part that brings you out of it the most of all the movie. And which sucks because it is the last like 5 minutes of the movie. Like it's right at the end, and you're like, yeah,
that was such a great idea, and then it was executed so poorly. And that's like double bad, right? Because like The Exorcist looks good.
Yeah.
And so you're like,
you have a comparison.
like the movie, right? Like I've
do
seen
it in a different way.
Do it in a different way
if you're gonna make it like that. Do it in a different way.
Do it in a different way. Like don't
show the monster.
Don't show the monster.
Don't fuck up the monster.
Especially when you're like, I want you to compare me to this other monster, and the other monster is like 500 times better. Like if we're gonna do bad CGI, then like do bad CGI. Do bugle fingers from The Unholy, like fingers. Don't be like, oh, we're doing The Exorcist when like, and now this movie from the 70s looks way better than this movie from 2022. And you are forcing me to think about that. Like you did this. You made me draw the comparison. And you did not come out on top.
So I'm so glad that that's the part that we agree on was the worst part of it. And
so bad.
The part that brings you out the most. And then that's the part where I like, at the end of the movie, I was trying to be like, and I feel like I was upset because going over the plot, it's very quickly, it is a girl whose mother was possessed when she was younger. And then her mother ends up taking her own life. Does she die?
She takes her own life.
She takes her own life. And then the girl grows up and
that's right. You come to Never Show the Monster for your exclusive suicide movie.
Yeah. And then we get to her growing up, and she is now a nun, and she wants to start in exorcism. So she's like a nun at this place that is a hospital for people that are most likely possessed. But there are also doctors there that aren't all about the possession, so they do a really good job of trying to balance it. Anyway, I'll get to this part because there was something I was about to get upset about. Anyway, so she then wants to become an exorcist. She befriends this little girl, and then this little girl is shockingly possessed. I know, right? Crazy.
Surprise.
But she goes around, she's giving a sponge bath to this one guy, and then it turns out that the demons are looking for her. The possession people are looking for her. They watch a video of it happen, and then they're like, fine, this dumb bitch can be an exorcist. Sorry. But that is how everyone treats it. They're like, she's like, I want to be an exorcist. And they're like, women can't do shit.
Not everyone. There's one cool guy.
Yeah, the cool guy. The exorcist teacher. He was very for her being an exorcist, but all the other women were like, no.
Yeah.
Women are not allowed in this position. And then she was like, first women surgeon. Anyway. So we'll get into that. We'll get there. So then she becomes an exorcist, and then the little girl gets more possessed, and then there's like a little side story where she figures out that the person's still in there, and they can try to connect with the person. And one of the other exorcists is a friend who his sister is possessed, but no one will help. So he asked her to help, and then she goes and she does her thing, and she seems okay. But then what ends up happening is the sister ends up taking her own
killing
life
herself.
as well. Yeah. And
yeah. You're doing like nice political.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm here for.
Right. Yeah. No, I get to say killed herself with a laugh afterward
remember.
Because I struggle with suicidal thoughts. You know, like I get to make the jokes. So don't come for me.
I'll be the political one. So then she was no longer an exorcist because they were like, you can't do this. I can't believe you went and did this on your own. And then she goes to a nunnery. That can't be what it's called, but that's what I'm going to call it. She goes back to a nunnery. It's called.
Get thee to a nunnery?
Yeah.
Convent.
Yeah. And then she ends up, they bring her back because the girl's getting worse. They don't bring her back. The friend with the sister brought her back and was like, shit's going wrong. You're the only one who can help. We have to go. And then they go, and then she gets the face of the exorcist. And then we also find out that she's the daughter that she had at the age of like 15. And I think that's the end of the movie. Oh, she ends up sucking the devil or the demon into herself, and then jumps into a bunch of holy water, and it goes away. And I'm not describing it very well, so if you guys want to watch it, go watch it. The CGI on the child's face is the worst part. I think the acting the woman did was okay.
I thought she did a pretty good job.
Yeah. In terms of like being possessed by something and having your back broken. I think she did a pretty good job.
I thought she did a pretty good job. Honestly, I wasn't like disappointed by any of the performances. I feel like even the little kid did a good job.
I agree. I'm not going to argue against that.
Gosh, I wish I knew Catholic Church stuff, because what's the exorcist teacher? I thought he was great.
Oh yeah, he did great.
Like he was like cheeky. He was cheeky. And I liked that. Like he took exorcism very seriously and like reprimanded her a couple times when he was like, do you think that your will is like more right than the church, who's been doing this for thousands of years? But he was like, I don't know. He's like letting her sneak into his class, which is supposed to only be boys. And he's like, this doesn't happen in the movie, but here's how you can think of him. You know how you think of like maybe
this
like
is how it made good because you gave them more backstory.
Oh yeah, maybe that's what it was. You can think of like grandfathers as like sneaking you like a Werther's original and like winking as he walks away. That's this guy, but he's like, I don't know, in his 40s.
Yeah, he's not that
but
old.
He's like a mentor to her in sort of a subversive way. You know what I mean? I don't know. I really liked him.
Yeah, I thought everyone did a good job. The things that I have problems with are... I was really excited about this because it was a female exorcist, and as you guys have heard on this podcast, I have consistent dreams of being an exorcist. So I was so excited to see myself in a movie. Representation matters, guys.
Yeah.
And they dyed her hair blonde. She's a natural brunette, but they were just trying to speak to me, which was so nice.
I will say that there were some continuity errors in her roots.
Yeah.
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 But I really liked her hair, and I almost wanted to bleach my hair because it's not that shade of blonde, but maybe
no,
one day.
I know. I was like, should I?
Yeah, she made it look
should
so
I do like
good.
a bob? Is that a bob?
It
should I do
looks
a bob
so good.
again?
But she, like, everyone, I agree, everyone did a great job. I don't know if it's just like there were just so many good moments that didn't tie together to make sense to me. And I feel like it got lost somewhere in the third act.
Can I make a guess as to what the other thing that bothers you?
Mm-hmm.
The body keeps the score scene.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? I mean, I love that book, but like, what did that have to do with anything?
You know what I think that probably was?
That demons are the body that keep the score?
No. Here's what I think that was.
Okay.
It's probably like...
Maybe the director was like,
studio.
mental health, this is important. Oh, studio.
Well, but that's the whole movie. So her like special technique in conducting exorcisms is that she's like, for years, the church has just been focused on like communicating with the demon and trying to expel the demon. But what you need to do is talk to the person who is possessed and have them fight from the inside, because the whole reason that they are possessed in the first place is because they like gave in to
my
the
God.
demon.
Oh no, I am now rethinking it. Maybe I love this movie.
I think that it's good. I think that it's just the CGI.
Okay, I didn't. That's a good point. Okay, that is not told as well. I'm dumb. You feed me with spoon, please.
Yeah, no, I don't think that it was like you're possessed because you've been through a bad thing. So she like focuses.
Not at all like smiles.
No. I don't even know the character's
Did we watch the
name.
same movie twice then? Yeah, I'll look that up.
Blondo Nun Exorcist.
That's accurate. I think that's her exact
her.
name.
Yeah,
No other
Blondo
name
Nun.
possible.
It's Blondo-Nun, like a southern name, like Billie Jean. It's Blondo-Nun.
Sister Anne.
Oh, Sister Anne. Yeah, I remember that now. That's an easy name to forget. And also, Anne is commonly like the second part in a dash name.
Yeah.
No, her whole thing is like, her like thesis is that your own guilt is what makes you susceptible to possession.
Yes.
And there are some people who feel so guilty that they're like, well, then fuck. Like, it's easier to let the demon just do it. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm outie.
Mm-hmm.
Let Beelzebub run the ship or whatever. And so that's how like she has that theory sort of from the start, like because of her mom. And I don't really remember her mom's guilt story. Do you?
I don't. I don't remember the guilt that brought it in.
I don't either.
Which is also a thing that I thought I would relate over because I have some guilt problems in my life.
I think that that's why I latched on to this.
Oh.
Because I was like, ooh, girl, we talking about guilt?
Yeah. But I thought it was going to be, maybe it was just the scene at the end that made me be like, no, okay, that's fine.
Wait, which part? Which scene at the end?
Oh, the face. CGI. I was like, well, obviously. Yeah. So that is why you don't show the monster or you don't fuck up the monster, because an entire movie with a really good premise could be ruined if you show a bad monster for a couple of minutes.
Bad monster.
Yeah, I think that you are making a really good point for this movie, and you may win this debate. I might concede.
I don't want to think of it as a debate.
Well, let me tell you about why else it's shitty.
Yeah, hit me with it.
The scene in which the mother gave away the exorcism, and it was like the next day after the exorcism for the sister of the friend, and she just called the church and was like, hey, your exorcists are doing something shitty. I did not believe that would happen, and that scene made no sense to me. That feels like maybe that was a longer scene that was cut, or reshot. But the amount of time and the amount of emotional processing that would need to happen in that amount of time for the friend and for everything happening didn't make any sense to me. So it took me really far out of the movie because I didn't emotionally understand what the fuck was happening.
I agree. I do agree that happened like way too fast. So yeah, so she's got this friend who is also at the academy, and he's like he's a priest or a father. What do you call them in Catholicism?
They're the same.
Is it both? Padre. He's a no, is that racist? Because he's Mexican.
That is a little bit.
That's not what I meant. Oh my God. I'm a quarter Mexican. Okay. So, he's a priest. He's training to be an exorcist. And yeah, his sister was raped, got pregnant, had an abortion, but she's like Catholic, right?
That scene was also done well, though, with CGI. Sorry.
Oh, that scene was done well? Oh, you're right.
I thought it was fine. And same with the hair and the little girl. Just what the fuck did they do at the end?
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like they ran out of money.
Yeah, that might have been, like, the end ruined the movie for this one for me. But I agree. Everything that in the setup. Anyway, Catholic babies.
She had this abortion, and then she was like racked with guilt. And what does her friend say? He says that she's been afflicted ever since. And like afflicted is like a euphemism for possessed. And so yeah, he asks Anne to go help him with this exorcism. And it's like, it's a pretty intense scene.
Yeah.
Like, there are two things going on in this scene, which is one, like the hella possession happening, which is like baby, like demon baby, like pushing out of her stomach. And it's very upset. Like, I don't even like.
It did really good with the tension of not just her like stomach, but you felt like there was about to be an alien moment, and it kept that feeling for a good couple minutes, which was really impressive.
For so long. And like the fan, God, the minute they walked in and the fan was going, I was like, turn that fan off. And the blades start flying off, and it's so dangerous. And I thought for sure the friend was gonna die. But yeah, that was really stressful. I don't even like. I follow Chrissy Teigen on Instagram, and she posted a video like yesterday of, she's pregnant right now. And so she posted a video of her stomach moving with the baby moving. And I was like, unsubscribe. No. Like, I don't even like it when it's a baby, let alone a demon. So this scene was very stressful. And like, that's stressful on like the possession front. But then Anne is like trying to make this connection with the sister. And she's like leaned in really close to her. Like, she's not even like looking at like the classic demon possession stuff going on around her. She's like making intense eye contact and like really trying to make a connection with her. And she's talking about how, I don't know, she like reveals that she had been pregnant at some point, and she's trying to console the sister, not even in being like, I am giving you permission to feel okay, but she's like, she said something that really stood out to me, which was like, we're going to go into the pain together. And so it was like, not trying to cover up the pain, not trying to like forget the pain, like, let's go there and I'm going to be with you. And I thought that was like really powerful, especially in the midst of this huge possession. And so I agree that like when the mom comes back after the sister has killed herself and like tattles on them, that didn't make sense to me. Like, she's tattling on her own son.
I feel like there had to have been another scene or two in between that we did not get to see. And I feel like there was okay, if they give me the uncut version of this, I might completely change my tune.
I demand the director's cut.
But it was the immediate next day and that happening and the sadness, and I was like, this just doesn't feel like it's cohesive to the story, and it just doesn't feel like it fits. And the friend also, his emotional reaction, and that she then goes to a nunnery, and then I don't know how quickly after, it had to have been pretty quickly, goes and sees her. Probably a day after she read The Body Keeps Score. So
yeah, there's like a psychiatrist, therapist, psychologist.
I think psychologist.
There's like a brain doctor who works in this hospital.
Yes. And she's skeptical of exorcism, and she's skeptical of demon possession.
Yeah, though she does say something like early on where she's like, I've seen enough now to know that like I can't explain everything with my science. Mm-hmm. She doesn't go so far as to say like I believe in demons and I believe in possession, but she is like, yeah, sometimes shit is weird.
She's probably a ghost hunter.
She's probably a ghost hunter. She'd make a good ghost hunter.
I liked her character. And that's the part where I was like, I feel like she didn't play that important of a role, and that's where I got like, why did they put her in if I don't think she was that important? But I think I think that you bringing up the fact that she gave her the book, and a lot of that book is about guilt and like racking your body, and like how that just takes a hold of you, just like, and I was like, fuck, yeah, you're right. I should have made that comparison. I should have thought about that. And maybe if you had spoon-fed me, god damn it.
Yeah, no,
I was just like, product placement. Yeah, I read that. That's right.
Let's like coordinate our movie going times.
Okay.
And we'll like wear little headphones like the CIA.
And then you're like, Chelsea, you need to understand that this part is actually about this.
Like, okay, here's what I think is happening.
You're right. You're right. But I very, very, very much liked the scene with the sister. And I was like, this movie, and there's like an earlier scene with the old who like tries to lick her. Ooh. Yeah, that was very scary. So there was some scary imagery that made sense. But then there was also scary imagery that didn't make sense.
Okay, hit me
with
it.
What the hell is the hair in her eyeball? What was that? She wasn't possessed by anything? Why did she have a hair in her eyeball?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And I do remember thinking
that scene could have been cut out, and the scene that was cut out in between the Exorcist and that should have been left in. Cut out the scene with the eyeball hair and the dark shadow. It was unnecessary.
Oh my god, I forgot that there was that weird shadow. Yeah.
We're saving the movie. Swap the scenes. Get rid of that scene. It has it doesn't help.
It's no good. Yeah.
But the other one, if you put a scene in between the two, you could save the movie and fix the end. Practical effects.
Fix the end.
Don't even do shit to her face. Just make her look upset. Just make her look like she's angry.
I'm not even like
put in black contacts or something.
End. I'm not upset with the plot at the end. I'm just upset with how it looked.
Yep.
Like, come on. We can do better than this. I don't know, man. Like, should I? Okay, I'm going to have to become a practical effects artist and go to fucking Hollywood. Okay, y'all, if you have any connections, get me a job in Hollywood as a practical effects artist. I am willing to, like, apprentice.
You would do very well. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of your cookies again.
Thank you. So I do want to like circle back to this psychologist and The Body Keeps the Score. Mm-hmm. I think that you're right that like her character didn't make total sense.
Maybe they need one more scene. We're going to fix this movie. We're going to fix this movie with them. It had the potential of being a great movie, but it's missing a couple scenes, and they added a couple unnecessary scenes.
Yeah.
And I feel like based on the director, that doesn't make sense to me because he is super great.
The Last Exorcism is really good.
Yeah. And funny.
I didn't expect it to be. It is funny.
It's very funny. Yeah. I like that movie a lot. I haven't watched it in a long time. I'll have to watch it this weekend.
Yeah, I just watched it a couple months ago because I don't know. I was sad and I was like, I just want to watch a possession movie. And
then you could have watched this one and been like, what the fuck?
So I almost watched The Unholy that night. And then was like, Chelsea'd be disappointed in me.
I would never. It's got Jeffrey D. Morgan. How could you?
Oh, she dresses like a priest to do that final exorcism. Mm-hmm. I was very hot. Right? Am I wrong?
You're correct. I was also, I was like, oh, do you need, is the outfit important?
No, the collar is critical. Yeah.
I was like, is that like a thing that I never knew before?
No.
So any exorcist or priest, please write in. Let us know if that is extra protection, the outfit.
Oh, maybe it is. Because they also wear that like stole when they do exorcisms, according to the movies. Like, is that another like... I'm sure it's got a name, like
maybe.
the Lord's armor. Oh, that was something funny in this movie is when they go down into those like catacombs.
Oh, yeah.
They have like, it made me think of...
Spy Kids? Sorry, not Spy Kids?
Yes. I mean, I haven't seen Spy Kids, but I assume that the answer is yes. I was thinking of The Kingsmen. Is that what that movie is called? Mm-hmm. Where it's like, you open all of the drawers and it's like your weapons all laid out. It was like that scene. They opened like a little cabinet and there's like interior cabinet lighting with like little briefcases of Bibles and stoles. And I was
that was
like,
pretty good.
This is very funny.
Special exorcism Bibles that are magic.
Special exorcism Bibles.
How do I get one of those? I just want them in my house to have in case.
Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, I did think that the... like hotness aside, I did think that the priest costume was like really on the nose, like really driving home the like, this is about gender thing, which is also how I felt about the body keeps the score thing. It was like, here's what we're doing.
Oh,
here's what we're doing in the movie. Did you see the book? Did you see the book though? Here's what we're doing.
So this movie. What else is there to say about it? What have we left unsaid? I do think everyone did a good job. For the most part in this movie, there were just a couple parts that felt very disjointed that didn't make sense in the narrative. And I think that is my biggest qualm.
No, my biggest qualm is the CGI.
Okay, okay. That was my second biggest qualm.
But yeah, no. So... together, they average out to be tied for first place.
Yeah. No, I agree that the face is probably the worst part. That was a part that, like, I think they lost everyone in the theater. And so, I feel really bad for them.
Not just that exorcist part, though. Like, early in the movie, when the little girl is possessed, and so Anne has just been, like, allowed to start attending classes for real instead of having to like sneak in, and we go down to do a possession on the little girl, and so like the friend and their other friend, the friend exorcist and the you said a possession on the little girl. Yeah, she's possessed.
Yeah, but I thought you said you were talking about going down to do an exorcist. You don't want...
did I say they were going down to do a possession?
Ooh, you look like you don't have a demon in you. Let's get that in.
This is a different movie than we thought. Yeah, they're going down to do an exorcism on here because she is possessed. And it's the friend and then thirdo friend who go in to like, it's like a final, you know? Yeah. Like the grandpa Werther's original teacher is like, go handle it. And they go in and this was also very, like, Hannibal. Like, she's in, like, this weird glass room, and all of the other students can, like, watch from the outside.
And it's a mirror. It's a one-way mirror. Two-way mirror? How did that which way? Okay.
Two-way mirror.
Okay. No,
right?
Is it one way? Because you can only see in one way. And then a two-way is a window. I think two ways is correct. I think you're correct.
I don't know. Interrogation room mirror. This academy was like very high tech all across the board.
Yeah.
Like you don't see that.
Well, I would assume you don't get taxed. You're going to have enough money to get those fancy two-way mirrors.
That's a great point. You can afford both ways. I don't know. That scene, the CGI in that scene was also not great. When she like skitters up the wall.
Yeah, that part wasn't good. I thought the hair part was good and the hand coming out of her throat.
That was very stressful. And that reminded me of the possession.
Oh, yeah. Good times. What doesn't remind us of a Jeffrey Dean Morgan movie? Why wasn't Jeffrey Dean Morgan in this movie? It sounds like it's right up his alley.
Oh, man.
The Possession.
Can you imagine?
This is just a combination of The Possession and Unholy.
Yeah.
If they had just brought in Jeffrey Dean Morgan, this could have been a win.
Yeah. Should I become a nun?
Should I become an exorcist?
Well, but that's what I mean, is like I'm working up to be
a nun-cursist.
Yeah. Because ladies still can't do exorcisms.
There are some female exorcists.
Are they ordained?
He was on the show
by
Stalker. I liked that for a little bit. But lately that's become a little more lady exorcists. I feel like I'm going to get a weird porn site.
I don't know. I just was like, okay, being in a nun, I don't...
St. Catherine of Siena.
No, she's the one, they mention her in the movie. She's from like the 1500s.
She's the only one?
Yeah, I think so.
What about Annalise Michel?
Is that St. Anne from this movie?
Fuck. She was born in 1952.
No, wait, Annalise Michel.
Look at this.
No, she was possessed. She was a possessed woman.
Oh, really?
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like I just listened to a podcast about her possession case.
Oh.
No, don't look into them. They're going to bum you out.
Yeah, it's bumming me out so bad.
Yeah, stop. Turn it off.
There's a movie about her. There are multiple movies about her. The Exorcism of Emily Rose was about her.
I was going to say Emily Rose was based on her, yeah.
I'm going to put this away. This makes me very sad. I'm very sad.
You don't like exorcisms.
What?
You got to put it away.
This one was fine, but this movie was fine. It was not scary.
No, it was...
2 out of 10, yeah. They showed the monster. 7 out of 10 if they didn't show the monster.
I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
With the monster shown? I would say 7 out of 10 without the monster. If they had done better on the practical effects, that would have been okay. Are you good?
No.
Did we just swap? Did we just switch?
No, I'm trying to think, like, I struggle with ratings. I don't know.
No, we're not good at ratings on this podcast. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Watch host.
Watch host, 10 out of 10.
I think we can agree on that one. This one is still up for debate. We may revisit it later.
I know.
Kelly's going to read the Body Keep score, and then we're going to bring it back, and I will read a dark song by Wait, no. Is it a dark song? No, that's not it.
Yeah, if we can find a dark song by Aleister Crowley, that'd be dope. No, I've got the magic of a dark song. Yeah, by not Aleister Crowley, but I don't remember by whom.
Yeah, then I'll read that, and then we'll come back to that one. Will we come back to that one? That was a hard one. Not as bad as Dark and the Wicked. I'm glad that that's our baseline for what makes us feel the most terrible on an episode.
Yeah, this movie didn't make me feel bad. Pray for the Devil was fine.
It didn't make me feel bad. No, correct.
Yeah.
I probably would have never... I did not regret paying to go see it.
No, me either.
So...
Yeah.
If that's the review you need, I feel like we need to have like a scale. Definitely go see it. Would pay way more than I paid to go see it. Didn't regret paying for it. Definitely regretted paying for it. Somebody should have paid me to watch it. I'm so upset that I watched it. I think that might be your scale. The 5 is I will pay for it when it comes out on digital VOD.
Wait, which one?
VOD video. No, that's with number 5. So we have like 1 through 5.
Oh,
so
okay.
1 is someone should have paid me to watch this. That was garbage. Yeah. I hate everything about it. The comparison to that would be, I feel like if we did have a movie in that category, I would have forgotten what it was.
You know what's funny is I feel like, I don't know, have we got like rose-colored glasses? Because I feel like when we first watched Unfriended, we were like, garbage, trash. And now I like think of it fondly.
Oh, yeah. And I have referenced it in like the last 4 episodes.
Yeah. Like that's
so
different.
Maybe.
But then thinking about movies where I'm like, I would purchase it immediately. Dead and Breakfast.
Host. We've been pretty consistent on the ones that we love.
Happy Death Day.
Yeah. I'm sure that there have been more.
Oh, yeah, agreed. But like the ones that I'm like...
That jump out.
Oh, and like Barbarian.
Oh, for sure. You know, yeah, Barbarian. Yeah. So we've got... So that will be our scale about our willingness to purchase a movie ticket for it and how we feel about that. This, I didn't regret purchasing the ticket. So...
No, this is
like a 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 is pretty good.
It's like down the middle.
Yeah.
Like not... I'm not mad I watched it. I'll probably watch it again. Probably wouldn't buy it.
Yeah. Halloween Tree's a 5.
I will go see it. Oh yeah, Halloween Tree 5.
Yeah.
For sure.
All of the TV episodes are 5s. Yeah, if they do have a sequel, I would see it as well. And this could be one that could be improved by the sequel. I don't even want to discount it. I think if he takes the feedback given to him by audiences, there's a chance it could be really improved upon. I just really was excited for the idea and the story and was disappointed. Maybe that was it. I went in with too high of expectations.
Yeah, I didn't know shit. I didn't know anything.
I just knew it was a female exorcist, and I was so excited about that.
I didn't even know that. So when that started happening, I was like, what? Yeah, so excited. So yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Maybe going in with expectations was the worst call I've ever had.
I'm a champion of going in cold.
Yeah, I agree.
Go in cold when you can.
But I do... around spooky season,
should we stop telling people what we're going to do next week? Make them go in cold?
I mean, no,
wait. I want them to go in cold to the movie, not to the
podcast.
podcast. Hold on. Okay, sorry. I got confused.
Yeah. Let's not do that. So let's talk about next week. So next week, we're going to talk about HELLRAISER.
HELLRAISER, the new Hulu
one.
HELLRAISER. Yeah. Chelsea's already watched it. I haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm excited.
I have so many things to say about it right now, and I'm holding it in, and I'm sad that you haven't watched it.
I'm sorry. I'll do it.
If you guys didn't check out Church Jams Now, our friend Kylan also said he had thoughts about it. So there are many thoughts to be had about this movie, Kelly. So fucking watch it. Sorry.
Listen. I will.
Maybe don't.
Let's wrap it up. I'll go watch it now. Yeah, next week we'll be doing Hulu's HELLRAISER. I'm probably going to watch OG HELLRAISER as well, just for some context. He's my character on our logo, Though it's a lady in Hulu, right? Yep. Oh, love that.
Yeah.
Wait, is this based on a book? Or was it? Or was a book written?
Clive Barker, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did he write the book first and then movie, or movie and then book?
I think book then movie.
I thought so too. Okay. I was just reading snippets of that, and people were pissed that it was a woman in Hulu, but then they were sharing snippets of the text, and she was they. I don't know. I haven't read the book.
Well, I haven't read the book either, but I feel like it shouldn't be dependent on gender for this.
In the passages that I read that were just posted on Twitter, full disclosure, I did not read the book. I don't know anything. I'm talking out of my ass. But the passages that were shared, it was very androgynous.
Yeah. And I feel like even the original Pinhead was pretty androgynous, right?
That's not how I remember it.
Okay, I'm going to have to rewatch it.
I also haven't watched it in years. I remember him as a queer icon.
Yeah.
But I don't... But a male queer icon, not whatever.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into it. We're excited about it. We have a lot to say. I haven't rewatched the first one, and I'm gonna do that. I needed some space in between watching that one and watching.
That's fair. Yeah, I do remember original HELLRAISER being heavy. So that's what we're gonna be doing. That's what we're gonna be discussing next week. Please. Tune in, give these a watch, and let us know what you thought of Pray for the Devil, and write in with any suggestions you have for future series or movies that you want us to cover. You can find us on Twitter for now at No Show Monster. You can find us on whatever social media we're on. That's our username, No Show Monster.
Even though it looks like we're not active on it, we do still look at it.
We're there. We're there. And noshowmonster@gmail.com. And leave us rate and review us over on iTunes.
Or wherever you get your podcast.
Mm-hmm. iTunes helps us the most, but any place that you can review us, please do. 5 stars. Thank you. Love you. Next week, Hulu HELLRAISER.
And the week after, in case you want to get ahead of it, we are doing The Menu. which neither
so
of us
excited.
have seen. Yeah. So obviously it's not out yet.
Excited.
So we're
it's not out yet.
So psyched to watch it.
So pumped. Yeah, and like Chelsea mentioned, we were just over on Church Jams Now talking about Evanescence, and we will see you next week. Happy Spookies.
Happy Spookies.